What's up, guys? Ben here with another episode of Scrap Time, a back-to-back this week. Chris and I are getting it going here. You know, we had World Series Warzone last weekend, and Chris and I wanted to do some more Warzone shows. So here we are. This is our second ever Warzone show. So, as always, me and the coach, Chris Crowder, and joining us today, winner of
The
Trios World
GOAT.
Series of Warzone, the
The
GOAT.
GOAT.
Would you say, Shifty, that you're the best shit talker in Warzone? You think you're the GOAT of shit
Uh,
talk?
I'm up there. I definitely have had my fair run-ins. I'm pretty good at it, so yeah, top 3 for sure.
Appreciate Shifty you hopping on. I think first to keep things a little bit casual, like obviously you just were in Europe. Had you ever been to Europe before? Like had you ever visited
Never.
anywhere?
Never,
Is that
first
your
time.
first international trip ever?
First time, yep, got my passport 2 days before the tournament, and we got out
Wait,
there.
did you like get it 2 days before the tournament because you like procrastinated or just like
No, I did it on time. It just took me forever to I did the expediting and it just didn't get here in time. So like at the 3-month point, I still didn't have it, and that was basically 2 days before the flight. I had to go to somewhere in New York. I had to take a flight and then get that same day, and then I got stuck there for the entire day because of weather. And then I texted the boys. I was like, "Yo, finally got it." Next day, hopped on a flight.
listen, next time I got a guy. Chris knows I got a
All
guy.
right.
That is true.
You got a guy.
I got a
You
guy.
hooked me
I
up
needed
quick.
a guy a month ago.
Yeah, no, dude.
Yeah, I
Well,
had a
you were
guy.
close to not going, right?
Yeah, no, I got pretty close to like texting the boys like, "Yo, like you seriously need to look for a third."
That's crazy.
One, I mean, listen, you were in the one. I know you and Reese be beefing a lot, but he also had a similar issue. We were
Yeah,
able to
his
help
visa,
himself.
the visa issues.
So that's how it goes. So you've never been on an international thing. So you like, how was that like the flights to and from, like being in London? Like, what was that like? Just sort of the whole trip in general.
It was cool. I think like anytime I travel, because for the most part, up until like probably a year and a half ago, I never left Cali. So then I went to like New York, and that was really cool. And then going to like across the pond, like that's something that's really cool. I definitely was very grateful for that experience. Food was pretty good. People were cool. It was definitely weird talking to a lot of people with like different accents. I don't know. I thought it was all very cool. I took it all in.
Well, where did you go? You didn't just do London, right? You did some other places.
So we were in London until the tourney. I think a day after the tourney, me and my girlfriend, we went to Paris.
Nice.
There for a couple of days.
There you go. What did you guys take the train?
Cool.
Like the
Yeah, I took
Eurostar
the
or whatever?
train.
Yeah.
Yep. That was a whole cool experience. That was a very, I don't know, Europe experience. I guess taking a train. I don't really do that too much.
Yeah, that's dope.
Where I'm from, and then I went to Disneyland and stuff like that. It was really cool.
Wait, does Paris have Disneyland?
Yeah, they have.
I didn't know
Disney
that.
Paris.
Oh, really?
Huge
It's
one,
cool. Yeah.
Wait, that shit's probably really cool. Damn. So you won that shit and then went there. Well, that's a really good time. You made the best of that trip on every possible way.
Yeah, no, I'm very like in the house type of person. So I told my girl, I was like, if we go home right now, like I'm not going back out for like another 6 months. So we're like definitely gotta make the best of what we
got the new COD coming out kind of soon. So yeah, once that shit comes out, it's chalked.
There's a pavilion at Disneyland. They've ran esports events at Disneyland Paris, which is fucking
Really?
dangerous.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's fire.
Yeah, I think Brawl Stars. Well, the most recent one I know was Brawl Stars, like the mobile game, did their massive world championship there. That's dangerous to me. I mean, with the closest we've ever gotten in COD was like when all those Anaheim events is right by Disney World. So
yeah, I mean those are really close to Disney. That is true.
yeah,
but yeah,
like literally across the street is a park.
That was awesome.
That's at the convention center, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go to any of those? Like when you were younger?
But I had been out there like sports.
Oh, you're but you're also North Cal, right? You're like more
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to go to Disney like every year type shit. Like it's 6-hour drive.
Yeah.
Family trip.
That's dope. That's
Yeah,
pretty
I
cool,
think
dude.
Chris and I growing up, only like amusement parks in like New York, New Jersey area, like Great Adventure.
Yeah.
Right Playland. There's a couple on Long Island.
I had Long Island has Splish Splash, which is like a water park, and then but I've never even like now, I've never been to like on a big roller coaster really for the most part. Like I've been on a few, but like not like some of the crazy ones. It's slipping my mind right now. What's like the park that has like the craziest ones?
Like
Cedar Point.
Six Flags and shit. I've never been to a Six Flags. Never been to a Six Flags.
You never went to Great Adventure?
No.
Ever?
No.
You never did Jersey trip? Yeah.
No,
We
every
gotta
time.
get that-
Well,
we
I
gotta
was
get that done
scared.
some
I was
point.
scared of roller coasters when I was younger, and then now that I'm not, it's just like chalk. I don't know. It's never gone. So I would
We
do
should
it.
do one. Me, you, RJ, Simp,
I would do it.
Erica.
I don't know. I'm down. Listen, I'm
Soap,
down. I
I
would
don't
do
know.
it. I know Abizi and shit would do it too. I'm pretty sure. I think they like it, but
We come
Yeah,
here. We
no.
go to Cedar Point in Ohio. It's
okay.
noted. So
All right, sweet.
anyway, let's
Yeah.
get back on topic. Not enough talking about a roller coaster. So, I heard you had some like travel issues coming back. Like, well, what was the deal with that?
Oh my God, coming back. Pretty much last night we're on the flight. Literally go back to New York. We're on the flight, and we sit there for 2 hours, and no AC's on. I mean, we're sweating in this plane.
Are you in like
And
economy or are you in like upper class?
I ain't there yet. You feel me? I'm in the back. I'm in the back of the plane.
Okay, bet.
So it's hot as hell. It's very compact, and I guess there's like a generator issue, something wrong with the engine, something like that. Sat there for like an extra hour after they told us that, and then they canceled it at like midnight, something like that, like 11, like 10 p.m. And then they just told us that we gotta, I don't know, get a hotel, and they booked it pretty much for us. And
Yeah.
that was the first time I ever had that happen. But then we got on the next flight. It was like a 10 a.m. flight, but we got there at like 7 because we had to do the whole pay claim thing to get our money back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since it was like their fault. So I had never experienced that before. I mean, my luck from before World Series, I had the best trip to World Series of like
Yeah.
the tournament.
The before
then
and
it was just
after.
Right back.
Yeah.
Right back to what it was before.
That's good though, because you had the bad luck, you got it out of the way. Then obviously, you did your thing, you had a fucking great trip, and then right back to it. But that's a good thing.
Right, yeah,
So you got some good luck. You have any more tournaments
Yep.
coming up, dude? Any online Vondel tournaments or some shit? That's a guaranteed dub, bro.
Oh, man.
Guaranteed dub.
That's what I was saying.
Well, I mean, let's get into a little bit of it. Like,
Mhm.
overall, I mean, I asked Chris about this on our last show, so I think this will be more on your end, Shifty. Like, big picture, and we'll get into more minute stuff. Like, big picture thoughts on the event, having the scene there, the production, the broadcast, like the meta. Like, what were your overall thoughts that weekend, other than the W capped?
The meta, I'll start with that. I was worried about. I didn't like the sniper meta. I don't like it, and my teammates don't really like it. So for that, I was a little bit worried about that. But I mean, since you got to adapt to it, the event in itself was. I've never been to like a LAN like that before. Like I've played the little LANs. Like there was like a 5K in Florida. I had my own like I guess personal LAN kind of thrown for the FSG thing, like with me and Scummin. But no audiences like that, and it was just super cool. Like it was just I'm 19, so I'm young, but that was like a crazy first LAN, I'd say. Especially first LAN, like big LAN, you win it. So
Stakes too, yeah.
I mean that was just like couldn't really ask for anything better. People were cool, it was just all around. I had a really good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's like trying to think the CDL equivalent of that. It's probably like what Snoopy did, where like your first like.
Yeah.
I mean, not even. I mean, it is actually not comparable because
It's
to
not.
your point, Shifty. You were winning before that. And you're just like one of the favorites coming in, but that's kind of wild. Like you see, you'd never been to any big LAN. And I mean, that's an arena show, so like
Yeah.
there's convention shows, and then that's like at the top. So
That
like, did
experience
you
is
have any
crazy.
nerves? Like, was there any like? Did you have like emotionally? Like, how did you feel? On like Friday, Saturday before the event started.
When I got there, I didn't feel any nerves until like the day of the tournament. 'Cause I was just too busy thinking about like, rotations, like what, like I was literally playing out the tournament in my head months like leading up to this. So there was really no time for it. And then once we got closer and closer, you can kind of tell, you start to feel that little rumble in your stomach a little bit, like, oh, okay, it's about to happen. Like what we've been working for, preparing for today is the day. And I talked with the boys and I was just like, yo, you guys nervous? They're like, yeah. And I was like, all right, good. I am too. And I just told them, I was like, it's good. Like, let's be nervous. And that, like, it's okay. Feel that. But we're going to get that first team wipe and it's going to be gone. And that's exactly what happened. We got like a team wipe, but I think in the first like minute of the game against Vap's team. And Sage got loud. I got loud. And we're just like, all right, cool. It's gone. And then we just started vibing. Like, literally, it was gone. There was no more nerves. It was just more of like, yeah, we're meant to be here. And I mean, it just happened,
And
6 games straight.
That's how it goes, dude. I feel like, like when you're like loading into that first game, that's kind of like when you're like, sitting there like, all right, like let's go.
Waiting for it.
Yeah, you're like waiting for it. You're like, come on. Then you land in, and as soon as like especially if it goes your way. Like you said, you get a team wipe right off the rip too, and like if something goes your way, like yeah, that's like when you completely lock in, and like I feel like everything else, like for the next like 4 hours of that, like kind of just go away. That's dope. So yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's cool that you said like, in a sense, like you were nervous. It's not even like nervous as like a bad thing. It's just like, you know, that's like almost like excitement. I feel like sometimes too. You know, like you're like excited to do it. Like that's not like, you know, weird to feel at all.
Yeah, no, I told him, I was like, if you're not nervous, you're not ready. Like,
Yeah.
we're all gonna be nervous. You should be knowing what this is, how much this is gonna like mean to us, and like how much we need this. So it is good to have those nerves. Just don't let it like. It's just like some people crumble. You know, some people they feel the pressure and they crumble, and other people they come out on top. And I mean, we fucking.
I mean, you guys are confident, bro. Like the way you guys play, it's like it's not like nerves. Like oh shit, like we're gonna like fail. It's like nerves in the sense of like, you know, like you're excited, you're ready to go, like you're amped up, and then as soon as you get into that flow, you guys, I mean, obviously we all saw how you guys played. That was crazy. I mean, you guys won by like 1 billion points. But
yeah, that was insane.
I was gonna say like too, like the next thing is like I feel when you guys were going into it, like you guys also had like Hector behind the scenes with you guys too. Like Hector's obviously huge into the scene with the pulse check and everything and like the community, but like y'all were his team, bro. You know what I mean? Like he wanted you guys to win. You know, like they like he like sat you guys down and like talked to you guys at all. Like, like what did he say? Like,
oh yeah, that wasn't like. So I don't know if you saw the little Twitter snippet that Rampage had posted. That was not the first time he had talked to us.
Yeah, I figured it wasn't.
when I was living with them at the Baca crib, I would always talk to Hector, and that was kind of like he was literally our coach. Like, if anyone's looking like what a coach can do, like that's literally Hector. He embodied it for us. He would basically tell us the things we might be afraid to tell each other, because you know we were still a fresh team. We were a very new team, so you were not super comfortable to be like, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. But Hector was like the one that said like, yo, if you want to fucking win, like you need to do this, Sage, you need to do this, Biffle, you need to do this, Shifty. Like you gotta lead them. If you don't lead them, like that's on you. Like if you're not vocal, if you're not telling these guys fucking A through Z, like that's your fucking job. And because he had IGL'd with Biffle in the other World Series, so I mean I had the utmost respect for it. I took everything he said, and we all just put it. We just heard it, you know, went through our fucking brain, and we just made sure we made sure we made him fucking proud, you know, because we didn't want him talking for nothing, you know, wasting his breath with us.
You guys did a good job with that. I mean, I feel like it's cool too, because like we kind of talked a little bit about coaches in Warzone and saying like I don't think it's like there yet with like how serious it is, but if it ever got to it, I think people could actually like benefit from having someone like even like Hector like say like what's needed to be done, all this other stuff, and like even like him looking at you saying like, yo, like you need to be vocal, because like he's dealt with Biff, and like Biffle's insane, but he doesn't talk as much. Like he's not gonna like step up and start commanding stuff. So it's like
he's a quiet
you want him to go in, do the thing, and like you would need the IGL and tell him what to do and all that stuff, and like help him out a little bit. So it's like you think like like how is that, I guess, going? Because you're still super young. You're 19 or 20 right now. You're 19?
19.
19, that's what
I turned 20 November.
So yeah, okay, that's what I thought. And like, bro, to be like 19, still super new to like competing, whether it's Warzone or anything, like to transform from being a 19-year-old superstar player, that's like what you are. Like you run shit when it comes to Warzone. Like it's not like taking a backseat, but like transforming. Like how did that feel? Like that had to be like different for sure, right? Like.
It was a learning curve for sure. Like on my old team and just in general in Warzone, whenever I play customs, even twos, like I'm just getting kills. Like I never really thought about IGL stuff. I never really thought about leading a team. It was just more of like I had someone tell me where to go, and like I was like John
They're
Wick,
over there.
Like I just got sent to go kill these guys, and that's just what I did. And
that's how I feel when I play ranked with you, bro. That ass. Yeah,
it's like 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna come out with a 2-piece. And so just over the years, playing with certain people that I like developed my game around too, just helped me become like, okay, think a little bit, and then you just find so many more openings. And then play with Soka, and he was our IGL, so I just pretty much took what I learned from that. Basically, what I was told, I just told them. So that's it. I just flipped it. Like instead of being the one to listen to all that, and I just slowed my game down and just started telling them everything I saw and what I thought was gonna work. And I mean, I don't, you never know if you're a good IGL until you do it. Cause I could call like things and it could be horrible and we could die. It just turned out that the things that I was calling, the way I thought about the game, it was the right way.
That's dope. I
think
mean,
to
that's really cool. What's up, Ben? Sorry.
to dive a little further into that and kind of expand on that, we had this question from Goj, and we asked Skullface this, and I'll send to you, like, outside of obviously working on squad cam and the role stuff, like in particular of like how you wanted to play the map, rotation, spots, like what was your overall like prep? Were you guys like watching a lot of VOD going this? Were you kind of like theory crafting, game crafting on how you want to approach a certain squad to get to end game? Like what was some of the thought work you guys were doing week of, week before, etc.?
Our biggest thing probably was the VOD reviewing. I've been VOD reviewing since Verdansk, my own twos game. Other players that I want to like play like, I've been doing that. So with this team, I don't know if they really did it too much. I didn't ask them beforehand like that, but I know me and Sage have done it for sure. And we took that and that was a really big thing because stage 2 we had a very bad performance. Like we qualled, but I think we got 11th. Like we were not in the qualling until like 2 games. Like the 5th game I think is what kind of set us in there. Like we're okay, we're good enough. And then the 6th game we kind of just coasted. So we did not have a crazy good showing, and we literally, we were bummed out for like an hour. We were pissed. Hector's stream was going crazy though, so like they were all excited. But the pulse check was going crazy, and then we're like all in Biffle's room, just sitting, and we're just like, fuck, like that was horrible. That was fucking horrible. We had everybody over. I think Isaac was over. Jay got, we're going to dinner. We're like, oh fuck, dude, we don't even want to go out this room. We sat there for like.
Where'd you guys go to dinner in Dallas?
I don't know what it was called. I want to say it was some like pizza pie plates. I'm not too sure. It was really good though. But yeah, we took like an hour to ourselves to just regain. While everyone else is having a good time, we're just like, let's think about this. And our first, after you lose, I mean, we qualified, but we lost. That felt like a loss. We just got out all those first thoughts with each other, just how it went, how we thought it could have went, and all that. And then we sat there, we regained, we went outside, we had food, and we watched that shit back. Like I watched that shit back over and over again because I took that fall for that. That was my fault. Like I even told them, like it wasn't them. Like they got the kills when we fought, but we were fighting edge zone every single time. And like that was what Hector was. So I'm like, yo, you need to get to middle zone. Like, and then I just didn't. I didn't know how to at the time. And so we just went over VODs like crazy. I personally was watching so many people's streams, and like I knew how each player played, like where they landed, if things went wrong, where they would go, rotations. And I just got super fucking nerdy with it, and we'd watch tournaments and just talk to each other about, oh yeah, this person did that, they did that. We really broke down the game in that 2-month period of time, like in a way I don't think any other team did.
Yeah, no, it definitely showed. I mean, I feel like that's so underrated too, of just being able to just like break down that VOD. And I think that's something that's interesting that you said too. It's not even just like where people land, but like what you said, like what happens when things go wrong for certain teams. Like, like everyone lands at their certain set spot, but like, if this team gets wiped, where do they regain? So you can also like know where people are at. Like sometimes if they're regaining too, like you actually know that these guys are probably in shambles over here. So like, go kill them. So it's like, that's pretty cool too. To like know, like not even just landing spots, just as more like, and again,
everything.
It's crazy that like, I'm just thinking of your squad with Sage, Biffle, and yourself. And it's just like, if you are the slowest, not slowest, but like the IGL, like kind of taking like a little bit like, the anchor, like, yo, like you two go in and I'll get your flares in a sense. Like that is fucking crazy. Like there's just like that is nuts.
Team. Yeah, it only works if we're Eagleist team.
Yeah,
if I want to go out there and drop 60 kills, like I can.
No, yeah,
it's just gonna fuck up everything else that we have going.
But that's how every team that wins, that's a huge thing. Like for all 3 of you guys to like just make sure it's like, bro, who cares about do like this, that, and the other of like doing good? It's like, let's just fucking win this shit. You know what I mean? And then like you being able to do that and shit and stuff, it's cool. And it's cool that you guys had so much VOD like prepped going into that. Because again, a lot of people have like the stigma of Warzone where like, oh, it's just RNG, like anything can happen, and I know like sometimes I understand why people say that, but like there's just so much that goes into it that I think a lot of people don't realize. And like it's cool to hear like your thoughts from like having such a dominant event and not even starting out dominant. Like again, you didn't dominate the whole thing, so like that's pretty dope. That's crazy.
Yeah, nah, I mean I feel like I do hear people say the RNG, like Warzone's RNG. It's like
say it a lot.
Not really. Like it's not.
Yeah,
like,
people were telling me,
but it isn't.
Yeah, bro. People were telling me, Shifty, like again, I was happy to be there. And I just got in the competitive. I could have done a little better. We could have done way worse. But like, people are telling me it's like, yo, it's Warzone. Anything can happen. Like, y'all can go out there and win. It's like, yeah, but like, people don't get how much there is a consistent way to like be good at
Yeah.
Warzone. Like it's not just like, oh, like this is unfortunate. Damn, like we'll get lucky tomorrow. There's a lot of stuff that goes to it.
There's definitely like levels to
Mm.
it at the top. Like
Yeah.
there's definitely like the top teams. Like the middle pack is not doing what the top team is doing.
No,
Like and
definitely not.
it just shows. Like and on like I would say like chemistry too is one of the biggest things.
Mhm.
A lot of people jump teams, and I mean, funny enough, like I guess I did technically jump my team and stuff like from stage 1 to stage 2.
Yeah.
But like in that middle pack, I think it's probably super important to stick with someone like a trio, at least one guy,
At least a duo,
and then
yeah,
at least a duo, because then you can kind of pick up an IGL or pick up someone that fits your role or like what the team needs. But like with the whole RNG aspect of it, like this entire year of All Mazda, I've been winning and like dominating this entire year. Like me and Soka in the beginning of 2s, and right below that was Sage and Veil. That was our biggest comp. Like we knew us two, we were going for first. Everyone else was playing for third, and people said that we were playing for third, and it's like people just accepted it because we were doing things that just weren't just normal in the scene. That to other people, we were literally just grinding more, just out passioning people. And then with customs, it's the same people that win for the most part.
Yeah,
the same.
It's the same like
there
top
is
teams,
RNG to it, but there's a method. There's definitely a method to winning in Warzone, and I think a lot of people just don't take it as serious or see it like that, and that's why they're kind of in that middle pack. And it's until you like take it like a CDL type fucking I don't know seriousness that you get to that level.
This is going to be my next question. That is like, do you think with sort of the method on how you guys went about it, like even Soka's team went about it because they were kind of in the mix too? Do you think? I think TB's probably got some experience on that too. I think everybody else is going to kind of figure out now. Okay, this is sort of the path to success here, and you're going to start to see maybe that middle sort of catch up a little bit. And I know you guys are probably like very confident in your abilities, but do you think there's going to start to be a little bit more teams kind of joining you guys in the tier or the tier below?
Yeah, I think like with the new COD, I think if there's movement back, it makes everybody a little bit better. Because like Caldera, you had a lot of bailouts. You had your stems, portable balloons. Like you had a lot of things that made the average player pretty good. So we'll see. I mean, it depends what the game is like. If it's anything like Caldera, because I think Caldera World Series was very close. You had a lot of good. There's a lot of good players. That's the thing too. There wasn't as many good players, I'd say, in Al Mazrah than there was in Caldera. Like it's probably like 10 that I would rate that were good. Other than that, like you were just another competitor. Like I didn't think you were like good. Like yeah, you might be able to drop 20 kills, but you just weren't. Your name didn't hit like other people's. So I definitely think Caldera had more hitters. I think Al Mazrah was just it was a learning curve too. Like it's super slow. People didn't have the movement. You couldn't be in the open and just stem out. Like you couldn't do that in this COD. And then the thermal snipers, like, dude, if you made a mistake, you literally died. Like there was no getting out of shit in this game.
No, there wasn't at all. And I feel like to what you were saying too, I think like what makes a lot of players that compete in Warzone good, especially like in Caldera, would be the movement, skill gapping, like all of like that stuff that you could really get away with in Caldera helped a lot of people. It was almost easier in a sense, but at the same time, like it added a lot of variety of like what you could do and be creative. Where what you said about adapting, I think like a lot of people, even still now, like this game is just so different than like almost so many other CODs, and especially last Warzone, like just with how you play it and all that. So I feel like a lot of people also didn't adapt as well with that. I think we talked about it like one of the first times we played together, like when I was learning much more about like you, when we were just talking about a bunch of bullshit, and like you were saying like it took you a little bit to like figure out this Call of Duty 2 at first, like for the first month, you're like, I'm like trying to figure it out, but like once I got it like locked in on how I'm getting, I think you said like how to drop 40 kills, you're like, I figured it out. And like once you had that, like you were good to go. It's like it was just a different way to play it. Even speaking personally, like I still feel more comfortable on Caldera when I get back on that game. You know, so there's definitely a lot to it.
Yeah,
you
go to Caldera, you're turned.
Yeah, I was turned yesterday. I was playing that shit. I was like, this feels great. So it's like, yeah, I think there was a lot to change up, but it's really cool to see the CDL like kind of prep for a Warzone tournament. I think that's super underrated. I think not only are you guys super talented, which we're gonna get to probably later when we talk about some other stuff, but like that prep, that level of prep, and then even having Hector, even though like like to help you guys, like bro, I really do feel like that gave you guys a big edge on a lot of stuff too. That's dope. I like it.
Yeah, I think we were one of the only teams, like I'd say, with a coach-like person.
Yeah, like to actually
'Cause a lot
have
of people
like just
had, a lot of people had other competitors that they would like talk to and stuff, but it's like it's different when someone's out of it,
Mhm.
and they're all they see, like, because he literally watched parties, so all he did was watch.
Yeah.
He didn't have, his brain in the game as in playing. He just literally was watching us, and he's a really good IGL. Like he got, I think, second every time he played World Series. Like he has one of the best placings. Like,
Yeah.
so the guy knows.
No, he knows what he's doing.
How to play. Yeah, he knows how to play that
Mhm.
role, like especially very, very fucking well.
And-
So he was a use to us. Like,
No, yeah,
crazy.
dude. And he talked to you guys. So after the first 3 games, to clarify, like after the first 3 games, we got like a 15-minute break. Did he talk to you guys in that break too? I thought I saw him. Maybe I don't know.
I want to say we tried getting to him, but it was like so many fans.
It was crazy.
I think we did talk a little bit. He just said like, it's not over. Like you're up, but don't like play like it's a new half. And I saw something like, yeah, like it's 0 points or so on 0. I don't care. Like leads can be broken in Warzone really quick.
Yeah, no, that's
Like
that's
we have
cool,
a 0-point game, and like you had like Soka or
and they pop
like how
off.
Juki's came in with Juki's came in with like a 27. They literally went from like 47th place to 10th, like in one game. Like that's how crazy you can jump with a win.
All it takes is that one, dude. All it takes is that one win, and like all of a sudden you find yourself.
Like the top teams can farm. So we although we had like a 50-point lead, which people think it's like secured, I did not feel like that. I was just like, let's not fucking troll it. Like no fucking way we troll this. Like I leave tonight. Like, I leave tonight, bro. We troll this 50-point lead.
No, dude, you guys had that locked up. All right. Ben, what did you want to move on to? Before?
I think
what?
Let's back up a bit. I want to back up.
Okay,
I want to talk a little bit about kind of how you got here.
Okay.
You've had kind of an interesting journey to the top, Shifty, and it's not been without some bumps. When did you or how did you start getting into like competitive Warzone? Did you used to like grind competitive COD back in the day, or did you just play when?
Oh yeah, COD in
Warzone came
general.
out?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I started playing COD when I was like a kid, like 4 years old. So my dad got me into it, and then I just met a guy, shout out Darko. He got me into competitive COD when I was like 9 or 10. So we played GBs, UMGs. Yeah, so I was a youngin'. So
oh my god.
and I always told him, I was like, bro, you fucking ruined video games for me, bro. Like I can't play this shit for fun anymore. Like I'm out here 10, 11, and I'm coming home from school, fucking doing my addition and subtraction. Like can't wait to hop on and play XPs or dollar wagers. So I've been playing since Ghost competitively. I played for a couple of years, and then my cousin came over to laptop, and I found out about H1Z1. So I took a little hiatus. I played PC games, Rust, Rainbow Six, CSGO, played all that. And then I was playing Fortnite. And I was in high school, and I was just trying to go pro in Fortnite. And then my homie, who I used to team with back in the day, was like, yo, come play Warzone. Like, I'm an odd man, which is like a third, basically, and twos. He was like, but I need a duo. So I was like, all right, cool. Came back, and I played on CMG. And that's just how it started.
So dude, you were playing COD like at 4, dude. Skullface said 6 years old yesterday. That is insane to me. Like, dude, that is so crazy to think. Like, yeah, at 9 years old, like you were running GB matches and see like Ghost and like playing competitive. That's like so nuts. I mean,
what's funny too, it's random, is I guess someone like went through my teams. I guess I played noobs in AW.
Really?
Like, yeah.
How did someone find that? Someone found that? Oh my god.
I have no idea. Like I think I said in my chat one day, and they like looked. I don't know. They found the ladder match or some shit. And I guess I played noobs.
Did you beat him?
I was like, oh shit. I don't know. I didn't ask. Probably not. Probably not. I think he was pretty good back then.
Yeah, he was a little bit more experienced, probably.
Yeah, but that's fucking small world.
That is, dude. That really is. Were you when you said you were going pro in Fortnite?
I was trying.
What what did you do in that? Like, how far did you get to with all that? Did you play PC? Did you play mouse and key on that or no?
Yeah, I played. Well, I played both. So my highest placing was on controller, but I liked playing keyboard more. Because aim assist was like super broken at a point, but when I switched, it wasn't like that. It was like linear or some shit. So I never got like super close. I was probably like top 300 in the Western region, top 400, which is like decent. But if you're not top 100, you're not really anything in that game. Like the skill gap was insane.
Yeah.
And I was also going to school and shit, so like
I mean, it's hard.
I hated playing creative, and I mean, I swear to God, you're playing against like 16-year-old dropouts that are just playing all day, every day.
Just cracked out of their minds.
Yeah, and I kind of knew, like, I knew that unless I was gonna put in that work, which I didn't want to play creative for 8 hours a day, I was like, I'm probably not gonna go pro in this. But then Call of Duty, I was always pretty good at, and Warzone was it just seemed so easy to me. Like, I've already been playing BRs for a couple years now. And I mean, it's Call of Duty, so I was just like, okay, I already know this. It's not something new. You know, you just gotta learn. It's just a different version of it.
Yeah.
And
sure.
I mean, I took to it pretty quick, and then pretty much made a name for myself probably in the first 6 months of me playing. That was when PC, pretty much PC, you're allowed to play. And I already had a PC, but I was playing wagers on console because that's all there was only a console scene at the time. And then once PC got allowed, I was playing, and that's when I ended up playing Scumming in like a switcheroo.
And that's when it
started.
Yeah,
cheating.
I was gonna say that's
just
where it became a thing.
That's how my name got out. Yep. And then all these pros kind of took notice, you know, and they said I was, you know, cheating, this and that. Some of them, you know, were just cool, and then it just snowballed pretty much into this.
Yeah. So going back to the cheating shit. So like because I played Warzone a lot, but I think during the Caldera time when you were getting accused a lot, I didn't really like pay attention to that side. Yeah, like I didn't pay attention to that too much, and like I wasn't playing as. I think that was like during my Valorant time, but like I just remember hearing your name a lot and Soka's name a lot, but your name a lot for like the whole cheating thing. And I heard Soka was like just like up and coming. He was like doing a bunch of stuff. He's winning.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so when you played like against Scumming, like is that like when it all started? People were just like because you got blacklisted from you couldn't even play tournaments, right? Like you were just not allowed to play for a while.
Caldera. So like the whole cheating tag got put on me after I played Scumming.
Okay.
So, like there was a big drama. We played. I like dropped more kills than him, and then we did like the money cams, and like everybody had a bad map. Like me and Scumming tied kills, but then it was just like, oh, you went from 30 to that, and I was like, well, Scumming just went from 30 to that too. Like no one gives a fuck. But so, and that was when I was like 16. So I was like, wow, I was talking mad shit. And then I think I got perma money cammed. Or at some point when I was playing CMG, I got permanently put on that where I had to do it, or else I got banned, and I won like 3 elites straight. So like I guess the elites were like what meant something at the time.
Yeah, they were the bigger
CMG.
tournaments. Yeah,
it's like you get the blue trophy, you know. I won like 3 of those straight, and then I got put off of that. Like they're like, okay, like you're good, and then it kind of slowed down for a little bit, but then Caldera, I guess my aim was just a little bit different than everyone else's. Although I thought that game was fucking easy.
Well, I saw some of your clips. I've seen some of the clips, bro, and dude, that was some fucking crazy ass shots. But like, I just remember like that's what I've always said with some of it. And again, like I'm not like into the whole like comp scene as much, but like like the monitor cams and stuff are like a big thing. And like I remember you were always willing to do shit like that just because you had so many people.
Yeah, because I had multiple people on my PCs. I had my toes showing. Like I had everything, bro. Like.
And people still didn't believe you?
No, like so I like when I money cammed and did good, they're like, okay, we can't trust it no more. Like people were so set on me cheating that whatever I did, that like in the community's eyes, like, okay, a money cam proves you're not walling. Once I did it, they're like, nah, he's faking it somehow. Then they're like, okay, show your ports and do a hand cam, like you gotta be using a Cronus. And I did it. They're like, well, you might be doing this. I was like, okay, the goalpost kept getting moved. So I basically made everyone think that whatever I guess you could do to prove you're not cheating just wouldn't
enough.
Work.
So people just thought you had the best shit. Like people just thought you had the best.
People thought I was like this fucking mastermind, and I'm like, dude, if my PC doesn't turn on, like I'm not playing that fucking day. Like if I click the power button and it doesn't work, like I don't know what the fuck to do, bro. Like,
yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah, you're not crazy, having some master plan to like fucking finesse your way around a billion different things. I gotta be a
fucking genius to do like to be able to fucking I don't know cheat with all these eyes on me and then do like money cams and all this other shit and people through my PCs. Like I always told them like, dude, if I was cheating, bro, like I had like 4 people go through my PC at different times. Like someone would have found something. Like they'd always get that one guy like we volunteer this guy, he will find it, and then he'd be like, nah, he's clean. They're like, nah, we gotta get this guy. Like this guy knows how to do it. It's like it was just a shit show. But pretty much in Caldera, that's when like pros took notice, like the CDL guys. It got so big that Activision took notice of it. That's what I was told by other streamers. Is like my thing got so big that it was Activision took notice of it, and that's when they found out I guess who I was, and since the community was so like, we don't want to play against this guy, he's robbing us, like they decided to blacklist me. And then I was gone for like 6 months.
So you
Yeah,
got
how did
blacklisted
that-
for 6 months? Sorry, Ben. You go.
Yeah.
I was
Like
gonna say,
5.
like, how did that like result? So Activision took notice you were blacklisted. How did you get off the blacklist? Was that a conversation with Activision? Did someone else's intermediary like help you out there? Like, what happened?
Nah, I had tried to reach out to Activision. I didn't know how to. There's not like a, I don't know, person
No,
to text.
yeah, that's hard.
So I pretty much just sat there doing nothing. Like literally, I fucking didn't touch the toy at all. Until I like pleaded, and FSG, the guys like Energy, they basically said, hey, we'll fly you out to Energy Castle. It's under like Full Squad Gaming. I don't know if that was like a kind of like a side thing that they had.
It was old Jake Lucky thing.
Yeah, so then I went out there, played, and it was good enough to get people talking. That like more so because Scummin didn't do like me and Scummin matched each other. So people were like, well, if you guys sent you sent Scummin out there, like that was your guy, that's your gladiator, and then it was just like, well, they're just as good as each other. So it's like, well, maybe he's not fucking hacking. And then they're like, oh, maybe Scummin's hacking. Like it turned into that type of thing. So I think that got the ball rolling. And then Rafi, who owns Omit, he had a tournament. It was like a 3-part tournament, and it was a qualifier. And he gave me an invite like the day before. And funny enough, I played with Rated and Otter, and we won the qualifier. And I dropped like 57 kills. I top fragged. I had a money cam and foot cam. Or hand cam. I needed like everything.
You had a foot cam, bro, for the foot pedals.
Yeah,
and shit?
so I had like one on both of my monitors, and then I had to have my waist down, so everything. Like,
Jesus.
my toes to my waist, pretty much to show like no Cronus
Yeah,
and then no foot pedal.
no foot pedal.
So,
Bro, I've never heard of, dude. This is insane.
It's crazy.
Like,
That's crazy.
I mean, I've heard of monitor cams, hand cams, but bro, like what you got put through here by some of these people, like, do you think that some of these guys felt threatened by your abilities and they didn't want to come to terms that if you were able to get a hold of the community, start teaming with the right people, like that you would overthrown some of these people that were kind of like running the scene early in Warzone?
Yeah, I mean, the people who I played with are the ones dominating now. Like I played early Caldera with Sage and Soka. I've been playing with Soka since Verdansk. I played with Skull. Like that was my first like trio. Was like our triple S. It was me, Soka, and Skull. Like that, like, so I literally, the people who dominated, I came up with. Like, I had been playing CMGs, I had met Soka, I was like, yo, like, you're fucking good. Like, I believe in you, type shit, and let's see where we can take it. And then 2 years later, like, that guy's a fucking World Series champ alongside Skull, and May, and then just like our whole like little clique, like, just made it. Like, we all fucking made it. And I think I talked a lot of shit, so like, I was basically telling him like, I'm gonna take everything y'all have, and then I started to do it. So like, it's one thing to like see someone come up and like, oh, that's a great guy, like he's very humble and he's not like our enemy. To like the one guy like you don't want to fucking see, and he's telling you all these things he's doing, and while he's doing it, and you're like, I gotta get him out, like I have to. So.
Well, I mean, I feel
I don't know if it was if they talked about it behind the scenes, like, yeah, we gotta get Shifty out, but I mean, it worked. They did for
a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's crazy though too. Is like, you talked a lot of shit, and I'm sure you did, and I'm sure it was on both sides. Like, obviously, whatever. Especially if you're like 16, 17 years old. But like at the same time, like I feel like a lot of people, if you get put in that position, that again, like a lot of people are obviously like saying you're cheating or this or that or the other, and obviously then you can't even play in tournaments and. You were young, but at the end of the day too, like you want to make this your career. So like that's technically like your livelihood too. Like you want to make sure like you can grow and win and make a brand for yourself and do what you're doing right now. And like, so it's like, it's crazy. Like, yeah, I mean, of course you talk shit. I feel like you have to. And I also feel like there's a lot of people that like in a situation like that, like again, like you have to have that kind of attitude. Cause if you don't, it's really easy to like kind of get fucked up by that shit too. Cause that's a lot of pressure. I mean, dude, even I feel like the mental pressure for a lot of people of just like, say someone thinks you're cheating and then again, like you're not, but like now instead of not having 40 kills or 30 kills in this game and you have 20, everyone's like, yep, I knew it. You know what I mean? Like that's so it's like it's not only you had to keep your standards so high to the fact that you were doing good, like you also had to like not have bad games. Again, like you said, the one time you and Scummin both had that bad game, it's crazy to like see like Yeah, dude, I just can't believe you got blacklisted for that long with all of that. I mean, this all goes back to like if the anti-cheat 2 was a little bit better, it would be nice.
Yeah, I
But
mean, I
like,
never
yeah.
thought you could get blacklisted.
Dude, I didn't realize it
in
was
my
that
head, I was
bad.
like, I'm not cheating. Like, I know I'm not cheating.
Yeah.
Like, I'll
So of course you're talking hella shit.
Yeah, like if I played a tournament and like, cause you know they have your admins in your chat type shit, like for your Discord. I was like, if any of them ever said like, yo, we need to go through your shit right now, like, okay, go for it. Like, I don't give a fuck. Do what you got to do. Like the tournament I got blacklisted from, I had to money cam to play that tournament. Like that, I was the only player under restrictions to play the tournament, and then I played the tournament. We lost. We got third, but we like top 8 qualified. It was like a 50K 2-2. Like we lost to the homies Skull and Wars, and I think Biffle and Ev won that one. And like I got blacklisted for third. Like we didn't even fucking win the event, and I got blacklisted because I guess I just did too good.
Yeah,
like I don't know I don't know how that happened. And I was I was talking so much shit. I was like, dude, you guys had me under these fucking restrictions in the first place. I did everything you asked of me, and now I'm out. And then once like they did it, like once I got, I guess, removed from like a Activision funded tournament, like it was a bigger thing than like, oh, like a Twitter host saying no.
Yeah.
And then once that happened, I mean, I was shut out from everything.
Yeah. I mean, once that's a big tournament to get shut out from too. It's scary because like, especially I was gonna say like, did you ever feel like, I mean, I'm sure you felt some type of way, but like fucking like a little nervous in the sense like of like you got blacklisted from like something like that, which is an Activision funded tournament, like a huge tournament, like a major in a sense, like a Warzone major, you know, we can call it that. Like, I feel like that's got to be a little nerve wracking too, in the sense of like, what the fuck do I need to do to like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
like,
thought it was over.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, okay, like it's done. Like there's nothing I can do at this point.
Yeah,
like
that's crazy.
Because I just didn't think like talking shit could get you in that position. Because I was always like, well, if these guys know, you know, okay, if we go through your PC, we could find this. I was like, okay, perfect, go through it, go for it. You know, if camming this does that or proves this, okay, I'll do it. Like I was the only really player that was getting accused that much that also did as much. I did everything.
Yeah,
I did it so much that people were like, we don't even want you to money cam anymore. You get better.
Yeah,
people thought I was cheating more with the money cam. They're like, you just go rogue.
You go blatant with it on.
Yeah, that I'm just going crazy. And it's like, what people didn't know though is like I didn't like face camming. So like if I ever face cammed, I did really bad. Like people didn't know that.
Yeah, you were still young too. That makes sense.
Yeah, I hated it. So that was my kryptonite. But people always made me money cam, and I'd fucking.
So that's better. That made it easier for you anyway. It's like fuck a face cam.
Exactly. I used to love money camming because I was like, oh, I'm about to fucking turn it on. Like I just know I'm about to just drop 40 on you. Like it's over. Like once you get me pissed or mad, like once you play the game with me, that talking shit game, I just know I have you. And then, I mean, I just would win. I mean, that's how I made majority of my money was just like talking shit to people. Like I'd get people to chow me because I would talk shit to them.
Yeah, no.
So I mean, it worked.
Yeah, it works.
And then I was gone. I was like, oh wait, like what the fuck? Like I didn't cheat. So
yeah, that's crazy.
I
didn't realize how much happened. I guess like especially from your perspective, like with all of that going on. Like I didn't realize how serious. Like again, like. Monty cams, fucking the goddamn foot pedal cams and all this stuff too. The only thing that's so weird to me is just like, dude, I feel like you were the thing that's like so confusing, I guess, is just like you being so okay with everyone doing all this stuff of like, again, cameras, this, that, and the other going through my PC at any given time. Just drop your fucking hands and be like, all right, go through it. I don't care. Like, go for it. Then like, and it still like didn't do enough. I feel like that's so wild to me because I feel like a lot of the times when people are a little bit sketchy on stuff, if you ask that person to do something, if they're like, I don't go through my piece, it's like, whoa, what do you have to hide? Like, if you have nothing to hide, like, you know, so it's like, I definitely see that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, there was one thing we did like that Face It anti-cheat thing. So they made me like download this Face It anti-cheat and I played pubs. I had like fucking 2,000 viewers, I think, dude. I never had that. And I never played pubs. Like I only played for money. So I played with pubs. I had all these people watching, and I like did like shit. Like that just was horrible. And they're like, "Oh, he's for sure cheating." And I mean, I'm landing in Caldera. Like I'm literally looking at like that was solo quadding too. So I just would see where a 4-man would land, and I'd go fucking land on him.
Yeah.
Or like I'd land in a heavy contested spot because I was just like, fuck it. I don't play pubs. I'm just gonna fucking play. And then I ended up playing Scummin that same night for like 500 each, and I 2-0'd him. So people were like, "Oh, he's not shooting the same," and I was like, "I'm not gonna say I'm fucking nervous. Like you can't say that.
In your position there, you can't.
You look fucking weird." So I was like, "Fuck, bro." And there was a whole thing about like other players said that like it felt like their aim assist got fucked up, right? And everyone forgot about those guys who fucking would tweet about it. And when I said I was like, nah, this doesn't feel right, it was like, oh, because you're not using your aimbot or whatever.
Yeah.
And then so I literally purposely started playing like tournaments with that face it shit, and I found out like it was my dead zone. All I did was turn my dead zone down, and it felt normal. And I was winning tournaments, like little small tournaments with it.
Yeah.
I won like fucking 20 in a row, and it was just like people didn't give a fuck anymore because it was like that one time you did bad, and I was just like, okay, it is what it is, bro. Like I beat Scummin with it, and you know I didn't care about the money, but I knew people were looking at it like, oh, if you whiff, you're done. Like you're not. Oh, if you're not the same player, and I was just like, dude, like I fucking 2-0'd him for $500. Like if I was cheating, I would have lost. I mean, unless if Scummin's fucking nervous too, but like he had the whole community with him.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you're about to beat him with this face it thing, and then he's about to be fucking exiled. And then it's like, oh, okay, you get 2-0'd. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you tried something else and then you lost again. It's like, fuck. Like they couldn't get me out, but they still did.
Yeah, dude. So then, I mean, fast forwarding to now, I mean, bro, it's got to feel fucking good to do that shit on LAN. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, I mean, I think before the LAN, most people obviously knew, but like I feel like you solidified. You know what I mean? Like what you guys are. That was it. Like that is done. There is no arguing. Showing up on LAN, and especially too, like I don't know what PC you have at home, but like a lot of the PCs, like, you know, could be worse than what you play out at home. You're not on 1440p. Like you're on a completely different setup. Like, and you went there and you guys did that shit and dominated. So like, yeah. That's got to feel good.
I feel like that PC is a little bit better than mine.
Is it yours? I was saying some people had worse, some people had better. So like I didn't know.
My parts are better, but like I don't get those frames.
I thought, dude, I thought those PCs were pretty good.
Normal.
Yeah, I felt.
They ran very well. But then I think because the 1080p, I'm like 1440 at home.
Well, yeah, dude, it's hard to see with the 1080p, bro. Sometimes I swear when you get used to it,
I was like, dude, it's so bad.
When you get used to it, yeah. Once you're used to the 1440p, like going backwards just doesn't feel the same.
Like hovering, like when you hover in there, it's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
I think 1440p will become the standard like esports events.
I'm surprised it's not in the CDL yet.
It's monitor stock because you got to get like for these events, right? Like the event you guys are at, right?
Well, that's a lot.
Like 200 200 across.
You have to get 150
staff.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's 150 plus.
Yeah.
You want to get another 10 or 15% just in case shit breaks. Plus, any monitors, you're going to use the same monitor stock back at house for like production and comp ops and monitoring and giving to people like Hector who maybe need a monitor for his set. Like, you know, getting 200 monitors is not super easy.
No.
Like back in the day, like MLG days, they own those monitors. It's just not hard because those stocks need to get replaced out. 1440p is pretty new, but I think eventually it'll be the standard. But I feel you guys going from 1440 to 1080 is definitely a big difference.
Yeah, but we can move on. We talked. I mean, it's cool to see a lot of your background and like where you came from though, because like I do feel like that's like something that a lot of people heard about in general, but like not enough. But that's crazy. I didn't realize you went through that much. But yeah,
everyone was kind of telling me like I have a crazy story.
No, you do.
Like,
you really do.
Comeback story from blacklisted to.
I mean, bro, when you got blacklisted, like a lot of people, especially again, like you need a certain type of attitude, in my opinion, to deal with that shit and then come out on the other side. Just because you probably had so much social media. Just
it's crazy. Death threats. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so I could imagine. So it's like, yeah, like. That takes a lot. So I mean, good on you. And I mean, again, you put the stamp on that shit by dominating. But now we can move on to the next topic, which we were talking about it. And you're the hot topic of this, considering you said something about it with the CDL and when you won and all that stuff. But it was Warzone pros switch the CDL and all that, and like we'll leave that at a very general thing. Like right now, like do you think like outside of yourself, because I think I already know your answer. You're gonna say probably yes, but. Like, yeah, like what do you think of that whole idea right now? Like, I'm curious to like hear it from your side, and of course we'll chime in from the other side. But yeah, what are you thinking right now?
A very select few could, I think.
You think so?
If they dedicate themselves to it, because I mean, a lot of the kids like I came from Variant, so like I have an idea.
So you've played competitive, like you've played a little bit of competitive.
Variant for years, and like of course I was not that pro level, but you have an understanding of what it is. And then you watch these majors, the same way that like you do homework in Warzone. Like I just be watching and see like, okay, I noticed like Kismet does this a lot. Like Hydra's doing this, or shots he's moving like this on the map. Like I just watch their triangles on the map and like, okay, like I see what they're doing, and I don't think I couldn't do that. Like it's pushing. I always say it's pushing buttons. Like your buttons do the exact same thing as mine. Like I don't think these guys are fucking God. You know, I do think that there are some who are fucking nasty though, definitely above, you know, a couple tiers above certain other ones. But I think like I'd say like 5 people maybe.
You think so? Yeah.
Maybe not even 5, but like the ones that have a background in it or have the passion to like dedicate themselves and work up the ranks. I do think like they could do it.
Yeah.
And I think like was there 12 franchise
12
spots,
teams,
right?
yeah,
Like,
12 teams.
48. Like, you know, I'm not saying they're coming in top 5, but I mean, yeah, it's kind of weird for me to think that like if I granted something, like I wouldn't be top 48 in that.
See, yeah, what you just said to me is like super interesting about, again, like not just like joining the league and joining the #1 team and just dominating and being the best player in the goddamn on planet Earth. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's obviously an extreme, but what do you think, Ben? Before I give my answer.
I mean, in regards to this whole thing, like I think, listen, and my position is this, and you can let me know if you agree or disagree with it. Like, I think, you know, Tom and I were talking about this. We were watching you play Shifty and Cocking. Like, I'm watching on the map, watching the way you're reacting, watching the way you're commenting. I'm like, he understands the game at a level. He knows how to center, knows how to aim, knows how to stay alive, understands the pacing. There's obviously minutia things, especially in respawn, that are tough. Little things, as Chris is obviously world champ, coaching player. Like, he can probably speak this more than I can. Like, that is like skill gap stuff, learning gap stuff that like you need to catch up to. But as far as pure gun skill and awareness and being able to like handle the like fingers on the controller piece, I think you have it. It's the other stuff that is just time, you know, that I think if you did, yeah, I think you could compete. And I think there are a couple other people that probably can do it as well.
Yeah. So before, yeah. So Shifty, who do you think? Who do you think? Like, I guess give me like your top 3 outside of you that you think could do it in the Warzone scene.
I mean, besides people that have, I'd say no,
like a best chance. It's not that they can't. It's just like, what do you think? Yeah.
Well, I mean, what about like the Raiden and Tommy?
They don't count. They don't count. Yeah.
Okay,
They've been. Yeah.
I'd say Shoka. I think he's like super passionate.
I think he's really good too.
I think he could do it because like we used to play the rank shit and we played pros like in Vanguard. We beat Draza, fucking like literally we're the world champs. Like we beat them. And we just played Warzone. Like we literally just came here and played Warzone and we beat them. And then maybe like Ben. You know, I don't really know anyone else that I'd say that. I mean, like Biffle could do it, but I just don't think he would do it.
I think Biffle could do it, but I don't even.
Biffle's probably one of the best prospects, but he's in a different place.
He would be crazy to do.
He don't need the league.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
He don't care for it like that.
I agree.
And then maybe Sage if he like grinded, like if he like full switched. Other than that, like I'm sure there's more like hidden talents that like I don't know, like our turn.
No, of course,
and shit like that. But from what I know and people I've
there's so much
playing with.
Yeah, there's so much to it, right? Like
there's good players.
Yeah, it's a lot of talent. It just then comes down to like who can handle the mentality aspect of it, from like interacting with 3 teammates and building ultimate trust with those individuals that when you go to a tournament or play a match, like you're able to execute the tactics and you can do what you're doing, trust other people are gonna do on the map.
Yeah.
And like little decision making things like blocking the back, spawns, manipulation, like knowing how to play situationals and search, like the little stuff that like there's a reason why Chris's team is so consistent compared to other squads. Like getting that level is tough.
Yeah, I mean,
I was about to say one more thing. I've always thought the debate was always so dumb to me because like there are people, and again, I think unfortunately it's a lot of the same people that were haters of you when you were going through the cheating stuff. It's a lot of that same circle of delusional Call of Duty players, many of whom are now playing Warzone because when they were pros, they were decent, but they were never able to crack the top 4 level. And I think they're just gatekeeping shit like this. Like they will, whenever this comes up, they'll say like, "Oh, well, these guys wouldn't be able to do it." And I'm like, well, I don't think that's the question. I don't think it's a question of will they be able to do it. Is like, are they able to convert their skill into the other parts needed to be able to be competitors? So
yeah, I mean, yeah, I was gonna say too. I'm pretty sure Clay tweeted about it, saying like they actually gave a pretty good thought to picking up one of the Warzone guys that were like grinding ranked, and I'm pretty sure that person was Scumming. Funny enough that we were talking about him.
MW2,
well, because he was Scumming was like number 1 or 2 or something like in like the ranked multiplayer. And granted, multiplayer ranked is not professional level COD, like everyone knows that. But like he was grinding it so much that like Clay and them kind of thought like maybe like we take a risk on this guy just to see, because he's clearly got like again like good gun skill and all that stuff. And then it kind of goes from there. With that, it's interesting.
They were out of.
Like
Scumming's good at multi for the like. Yeah, he's a good multiplayer person. Like. again, he's never played at a professional level, and I don't think if he ever did it. First of all, Clayster and Scubbin on the same team would have been fucking hilarious. But
hilarious.
but
Dylan McGee theory. Oh my
yeah,
God,
that would have been. I wish they streamed everything, but
Chris, it speaks to the situation that they were in when they considered that, right? Like they were thinking about scumming over subs that were like proven levels. There's a thing in the CDL. We've talked about it a lot, Chris and I, on this show, playing streams, whatever. About there's a chase on the CDL to find the next Shotzi, Simp, BZ, Celium, whatever.
Yeah.
And so like someone like Clay is willing to take that risk, or other teams are willing to take that risk. That's why that like desire is there.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised, but there are people on the other side of it that are just like, I don't know, like they can't open their minds to that possibility. And I think those people just have no ability to think outside the box.
Well, I think some people are definitely threatened. I also do think some people be saying extreme arguments, and then like obviously people clap back because it's ridiculous. Like I saw one thing saying like if Biffle switched, he'd be the best player in the league by fucking like just like no one would even compete with him. It's like, bro, like Biffle's really good, but like to say something like that is just insane. Even if it's possible or not, it's just like you can't even predict that. That's just like people being like obviously a little overzealous. But even like talking about Shifty, like he's been like the topic of it. It's like, yeah, I think like. Again, there are some challengers that are good that have probably been waiting to step up, and there's the politics game that go to it. But I also do think, like, I don't think all Warzone pros, like Shifty, what you said, like, I don't think, like, you know, all of them could just switch over because Warzone takes so much more skill, blah, blah, blah. Like, I think a lot of Battle Royale kids struggle to shoot and call out at the same time. I always like some of their communication and teamwork aspects don't really hurt them that much in Warzone. Yeah, they don't hurt you in Warzone, but they would kill you in multiplayer. And I think a lot of that's instinct. But like you said, like you played Variant, and like the tournaments that they ran, like the Warzone versus CDL thing, like you could watch some people play and like pass the eye test and see like what's going on, like you specifically too, like, bro, like you guys are talented as shit. And like again, like sometimes there's the theory of like what I was saying. It's like I don't think like you just join the league, you join FaZe or OpTic, or all of a sudden or Toronto or any of these top teams is fucking boom, you're there. It's like you'd have to, like time to like have to work on some stuff. But with that being said, like sometimes I feel like the situation Clayster was in last year or whatever when he was thinking about picking up Scummit, like there's sometimes where like there's a lot of challengers that have been playing for a while, and let's just be realistic, I don't think some of them are just going to join the league and be on the level of Shotzi, BZ, you know, whatever Simp, like anyone you want to name, like, and they've been around long enough to prove that they're probably not that good. They still could be in the league, but like that good. And then like, you know, taking that risk. Again, like when you're already probably not going to be the best team in the league, you're going to struggle a little bit. Like Vegas wasn't predicted to do very good until they revamped the roster a little bit. Like I don't really think like that's as crazy as it seems sometimes. Again, it depends on the options that are available and stuff. But like I truly think a few people in the league, and Shifty, I do think you're one of them. Like if you grinded and had the right people around you, like I do think like you would be really good. Like and again, like I think like. If I could guess your role, you're gonna be the guy that uses the fucking sub and just run around in hardpoint and fucking try and get as many fucking kills as possible. You know, like be the annoying player that like wants that. It's like I think that is pretty doable for a select few, like you said. But the biggest thing is just the attitude. Where I think like that's the reason why I bring your name up a lot, is because I think you do have like that attitude of like the grind mentality of what it takes to be a top challenger / CDL pro. Is like that mentality of scrimming and getting better every day and getting nerdy with it and the search and destroy and all that other stuff, like that stuff. It's like I feel like I feel like you're like there with that. And like I don't know if you even know what you're doing yet, like for next year, but I would love to see you try next year again, like not just pick up a contract and go there, even though someone might take a risk like that. You never know. Like that's a whole different ball game. But like usually if the event number one is what they did in Raleigh last year, which I really hope it is, the Pro-Am. I really think the Pro-Am is really fucking cool. I think it would be cool to see like what you can do, like just to see if like, you know, the few challengers events and all that stuff, if you can find yourself a solid squad, because no matter how good you are too, picking the right people to team with is also very important. But like I do think it would be fucking cool to see like how you do, because again, that the risk of someone that's super talented and developing into something really good almost pans out almost every time. Not every single time, but a lot of the times that's how it worked. I mean, even when like FaZe picked up Celium, I know he like proved himself online in Call of Duty, but everyone thought he was gonna get nervous and suck and all this other stuff. And MC came out fucking gunning, like, you know, event one, like.
And he got banned from 8-9W.
No,
bro.
that's what I mean.
I'm tired of this. Like,
so it's like I do think
community gatekeeps so bad, bro.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like I do think like it'd be so interesting to see that. Because again, like even in challengers, like I'm sure there's some challenger squads that are thinking about their team next year, and like, dude, you can pick up someone that you kind of know what you're gonna get, and if you know what you're gonna get out of that someone that you're picking up, and it's not gonna be like a top team, like why the fuck not? Sometimes that's how I view it. Like, I don't know. I would love to see that, dude, and you should stream that shit, bro.
Yeah, nah. I mean, I'm definitely entertaining the idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I just know like. And I don't know if it's just because I'm super confident mixing with cocky, but I just really don't think like if I'm putting in the same 8 hours in what you're doing, like we matched it, like nah, I'm coming out on top. Like because I play Warzone, like that is my main game. That is what I grind. There's a reason why I dominate this, and I could come with that same mentality. And instead of like when we play that COD Kings event, like I even said, these pros are not shooting any better than me. Like. And I don't even know the spots. Like, I don't know, like, where to go. Like, you guys play this all fucking year. Like, I don't know. You could see me through that little fucking crack. But when it came down to the 50-50s, and I was on bad ping compared to these guys. They're on fucking quad Texas host 4 ping. There's no reason for them to be losing some of the gunfights they were losing. And people were like, well, it's off season. They don't really care. I'm like, I don't want to hear that shit. Like, if let's just say I'm simp, like, I'm not letting Shifty fuck me over. Like, I'm not letting Shifty do this to me. Like, that, for me, I would not be able to do that. I would never let a CDL player come into Warzone and take me over, like, take the fucking tournament from me. I would never let that happen. Like, that would mean, it means so much more for me to lose than it would for me to win at that point. Like, I just could not fucking, I wouldn't be able to sleep that night, bro, if I lost to a fucking CDL player in Warzone. Like, that would not be good. So I definitely do think it's a very select few. But I have that mindset that if I grinded, if I did what you were doing, I'd be better than you.
And I mean, that's step number one. I would
have that confidence no matter the gamer tag. Like I give my flowers to the top pros. Like even when Draza, we're going back and forth and a little bit on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like I know who Draza is. He's good, but I don't think you're any different than me. Like that's just how I think though. And I'd have to think like that. There's no way I go to a league and I'm like,
well, that's how Draza thinks.
That guy's better than me. Like. I'm not ever gonna be able to beat Shotzi on the main stage. Like, no, bro. I'd have the confidence that like I'm gonna beat you. Like I'm gonna get an opportunity and I'm gonna make this fucking run. Kind of like how Spart did, right? Like this guy fucking subbed in, they made the run. And they fucking won. Like that's one of those fucking what they call it, cannon moments or some bullshit like that. That's like your fucking moment right there.
That was a crazy moment. Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just how I think though, and that's just how I've thought about shit. Like. Well, if I wouldn't do this if I didn't think I could be the best, there'd be no point.
I mean,
I'd be wasting my fucking time. I'll sit on Warzone and keep collecting these fucking checks.
I know what he was saying, but yeah, I mean, I agree though. I mean, in the sense of like, but even like you said, like obviously Draza is one of the players on my team and stuff and like all that, but it's like all those guys, Simp, Draza, BZ, Sellium, I mean, Shotzi, fucking and Scrappy from fucking Toronto. Like you can go down a goddamn fuck, yeah, like. They're the best. But no, they're the best of the best. For sure. But like it's like they all have that confidence about themselves too. Like you don't get to that, you don't get to where, you don't get to that level without thinking the same goddamn thing. And if you think otherwise, then you're probably never been at that level before in your life. Like, that's just what it is. So it's like that is definitely step one. But like, bro, I see that's what I mean. Like the whole like CDL versus Warzone thing, since it was like a couple Warzone guys and a couple a couple CDL guys like mixed, it was like fun to watch, but it was like not like fully as like serious as it could have been, which I was hoping it kind of was. It would have been pretty cool to see like full Warzone, full CDL, and like do a little bit of both just to say. But like, I think that shit would be awesome to watch because again, like I'm a big fan of like regardless of like my own situation, like I'm a big fan of like watching people do that shit and like and it's very similar to so many situations when so many people came in from other games and all this other stuff like. That like like there's no chance they're gonna learn that, like they're good at Halo but there's no chance they'll be good at COD, or like they're good at this but there's no chance at that. It's like I do think it'd be cool to watch. It's like if you do it, bro, like and you do that fucking, you stream that shit for the first month when that new game comes out and like you play some of those challenges, bro, I'm gonna be tuning in because that would be fucking dope. I do think there's a few people that can do it.
Want to see it.
Oh, dude, I mean, like, bro, people watch
everyone's like, oh, it's like a 99 to 1%, but you're gonna watch and see if that 1% fucking happens. Like. Because there's no matter what, there's a possibility that like I play these kickoffs or whatever, and like let's just say I did get a fucking chance, whatever it is. Like I promise you that match is gonna have eyes on it.
Yeah.
Like, they're gonna see like, okay, can this Warzone kid fucking hang? And if it does, like it might just entice other people to do it too. Like That's another thing. There's like there could be Warzone players that want to go CDL route that just don't want to because of all the shit behind it.
There's a lot
Like,
to it. Yeah, there's a
you
lot
can't
to
deal
it.
with the pressure too. That's the thing. Like I'm comfortable in the most uncomfortable situation. I've had my career on the line multiple times, and I just don't think me playing on a stage against 4 other players is going to be anything to me. Like
Okay.
I just don't. I think I passed that part.
What, Ben?
I
Why are you
want to see you
smiling?
in some kickoff aids, bro, when the game comes
No,
out.
I
It's
do
gonna
too.
be-
Because again,
It's gonna
Dude,
be
I
good,
want to.
dude.
I play kickoffs every year, like all that shit. Like MW2. Like I used to tell you all the time. I feel like I was really good at MW2. I thought I could have gone pro, but it's just Warzone is stability.
Yeah.
Like that's why there is unfortunately a financial part to it. Also, I would not
Yeah.
give up Warzone. What Warzone is giving me, it's
No,
no
you-
point for me to
you-
go
yeah.
like challenge to go in the pit for 2 years. To
Yeah,
prove
man,
what?
I mean, it's the issue like Diaz has as well.
Yeah, well,
right? It's
Biff would
just
be
like-
crazy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, Biffle is fucking 100 times me in
That's
terms
why
of everything.
I saw
so.
some people saying like when this came about, like there were a
Mm.
couple of people on Twitter that were like, "Well, we should do it like for the passion, for the love," and I'm just like, yeah,
What?
but
Got
like
bills,
if
brother.
you were
What?
making
Yeah, like-
6 figures a year plus doing Warzone, the CDL, which we know what CDL salaries right now, unless you're a real top player, like there is a decrease overall there, and there's always the risk that you're not going to make any money in prize money. Like from an economic standpoint, especially when you're young, like that is a tough decision to make.
Yeah.
I feel like
I mean, it's not a
that's
tough
why it doesn't
decision to
really
make.
work.
It's a stupid decision to make.
Yeah,
Like-
it'd have to be a perfect situation for
and-
me.
and
There's no way.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, I understand like where people are coming from because people do compete in challengers off of passion and they're trying to make a life for themselves. Duh. Like, I get it. And I do wish the challenger scene was obviously a little bit more like stability to, or had a little bit more stability to it, of course. But like at the same time, like, yeah, like Biffle would, like, again, Biffle would never, because Biffle's a whole different anomaly. But even you, it's like, yeah, like you're making good money. It's like if you switch over that, a big thing would obviously probably you would have to be able to stream a lot of the stuff that you do because
That's the main thing.
like
yeah,
you
for
obviously
sure.
want to make your own money and like that's just part of life. You got to look after yourself. But like, yeah, I mean, dude, I still think there's a world where again you can try it and see like I mean, bro, you have Warzone right now on lock in the sense you're obviously the top teams of the top teams there. Like you could, and like I don't know how popping off it will be right off the rip. So there's stuff that you can obviously like kind of go back and forth with. But yeah, no, just to like give everything up just to make this to like prove a point would be a little crazy. Like,
Yeah, it
like-
makes no sense.
and like also
It's-
just a disclaimer, sorry, but like yeah, getting into CDL too is not just like talk a lot of shit and you're in the CDL like you guys like bro, like the reason why like you're such a fucking hot topic is not even because you guys won the World Series, but like it's just like bro, you passed the eye test on a lot of stuff that like I don't think a lot of guys in Warzone do. As much as dude, they're better than me at Warzone, but I still don't think they passed the eye test of like being in the league. You know what I mean? Like I truly think like that's something that like you do have. So it's like yeah, like I think like you do have what it takes to be a good player if you have that. So it's like yeah. I know some people obviously get upset when you bring this up, but it's like I'm
Yeah,
not saying
nah,
you
I
got to
love it
join.
when
Yeah,
it's
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you got
I
to
feel
join
like
and be like
people
number
only
one,
get
but like
upset because they also know, like, fuck.
Well,
well, yeah,
it-
people
it could be
people
the
definitely get a little threatened by it for sure, or like they don't. Yeah,
Yeah, it swings both ways. It's people that have either never made it and they're jealous, or people that
Mhm.
have made it and aren't there anymore and are trying to gatekeep. Like that group, like is going. You're not the first person. I think you are the first person to an insane extent to what's happened has been gatekept. But there have been numerous pros in the CDL, people that have won championships that have gone through similar experiences where they were young, accused of cheating, opportunities were let go, and they had to work their
Yeah.
ass off, and they finally got in. Like it just this community's got a big problem with it. I don't quite understand it.
no, I
Yeah,
said.
nah. I mean, there's a couple of situations like I could literally go to league and fucking suck. Like
yeah,
there is that
Yeah.
is that chance. But then there's also like in my head I'm like, man, I might go to fucking league and just give me that year, give me that full year of dedication and like another fire under me. Cause like that's the thing too. Like I've always just been like the underdog a little bit. Like oh he's hacking, he's gonna go to land and fumble. All right, he goes to land, he fucking top fragged and he won the thing. Then it's what else is it? Like I'm looking for the next. What is it? So if you give me a reason, and I've kind of done this throughout my, I guess, Warzone career, if you give me a reason to fucking go harder and, put in those extra hours, I will do it. And you're just going to keep moving it. The
Yeah.
goalpost over and I'm going to keep fucking making you move. I'm going to make sure you need another fucking excuse. Because whatever you think, whatever you're saying, I'm just going to fucking outwork, and then fucking show that it wasn't that. And you got to keep fucking saying, now I would assume it's over. That's what I told the boys. I told us ages too. It's like, yo, we need this like Biffle. he's good, bro. He ain't getting blacklisted. Like, it's just a bunch of trolls that are saying shit. But like me and you, like they're trying to get us out. Like they don't really want us here. So he popped the fuck off too. Like I give him like I think a big reason that we won was because of Sage.
Yeah.
Like he made that shit easy.
Sage goes low key sometimes, bro. He goes low key, but Sage is godlike, bro. Sage is fucking good.
He's one of the most important part of our team. Like if he does bad, like it's very hard. Like because he's our entry. If he's not, he was popping 2 pieces left and right. Like we're breaking fucking teams down with ease. So I mean, it's just we had like a passion, you know, under the fire, an extra little something, and I mean we fucking did it. I hope it's over now with the whole, you know, hacking and all this. You're doing this, you're doing that, and now like me going to like how I think about it, me going to the CDL is me like wanting to do it. If I want to do it, I'll go.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah.
It's just there's a lot that I'm leaving behind, and I think that's the argument people don't see. They're like, well, why is he doing it for the money? Well, it's like I would never like. Would you give up everything you have right now to, you know, maybe fucking $0 for fucking 2 years? It could be for 2 years. Like I have a good thing going, so it's really like. And also this year there wasn't that many tournaments until I guess like recently. Like we had like a crazy month of tournaments. Like all it was Twitter tournaments for Almazer for the most part. Yeah. But then we got the numbers, right? Like this shit did more than champs. Like hopefully we're good. Hopefully we can get some tourneys back. But like if MW3 is a dry year, that's the only reason why I kind of entertain this CDL shit. It's like I'm not doing another year of Twitter tourneys.
Yeah.
That's just super boring. Like I'd rather actually maybe take that hit, you know, for a little bit and then be in something that I could blow up in, like be like a fucking superstar in its due time. Yeah. You know? So it really all depends. If Warzone's busting, bro, like then I'm putting it to the side again. Like
of course.
It is what it is. Like there's no point for me to leave. Because what Warzone could be, like what Verdansk was, I mean, it felt like there was 100K every week.
There was. The Verdansk
insane shit.
Was crazy. Verdansk was crazy.
Like if we could get half of that, I'm at Warzone.
It's the peak of the esports. I mean, I don't know if that's going to be replicated that scale. I would say that Warzone will always be a popular product. I think World Series of Warzone, like I would be surprised if it's still just one land next year. Like if I were Activision, I would be figuring out a way to do 2, maybe 3 of them a year. Because it's clear from this, if you did this in Madrid, if you did this anywhere in North America, if you did this in like
keep saying Madrid, dude. You've been saying Madrid a lot lately.
I've been saying Madrid because, like, I've been saying Madrid for 5 years.
I know, but you've been saying it a lot lately. Yeah.
Well, because Spanish, we now.
It'd be awesome.
Like,
listen, I'm all down for it.
Investing in the CDL, bro. Like the Spanish fans have always been from. It's not gonna be that bad. From where?
From Cali?
Yeah,
that's
come on, bro.
That's the one where you get business class, though.
Yeah, bro.
Now you got that money for business class, bro. You're chilling.
Oh my god, yeah, that's a far flight.
Listen, it's worth, bro. Don't listen to Crimsix on Twitter, bro. Like first class, business class, when you're on a long flight is worth. You get the meal. You're too young for booze on the plane, but it's all good. You get the lay down seat, like it's worth.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, yeah, dude. All I'm saying is, I hope, regardless, like, yeah, I hope you try just to see it because I'm super curious. Again, I mean, depends on obviously how Warzone goes. And how the start every year is, and even if there is a pro-am, I don't even know. Are they is that a confirmation, Ben? Do we even know? No?
They have not said anything about, and I have not heard anything about like the format for next year. I would hope they run back the pro-am. Major one last year was great for kind of the
major. That was amazing, dude. That was amazing. And like I hope they do something like that again. But regardless, like, yeah, I do think it would either be like some crazy, like he gets a sub spot type thing out of like on some crazy ass risk, or like. Or again, like you're able to stream, because if you're able to stream the attempt for a pro-am type thing, and like, you know, you do that, like you'll make a lot of money streaming and making content around that. Your viewership will make you some good cash. And of course, like Warzone, I don't think you'd have to worry about it too much, regardless, considering you just play that shit.
Well, that's what I was saying. Warzone, I only got to play like maybe a couple hours a day.
Yeah, so it's like I think
really not anything new.
Yeah, but again, I still think there's a lot of question marks on it. But listen, I hope to see it because I truly do think you're a fucking beast. But what's it called?
I'll play the kickoffs. That's like because I'm not sure if Warzone's dropping.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, I would assume it doesn't. Yeah.
Usually it's like a month.
We have COD Next coming up in a couple of weeks.
So we'll get the
I would
info
assume
there.
we'll get some Warzone news there, and we'll see. You know, the last couple of times it's been a stagger release. We'll see if this time around they do everything at once. I'd be surprised if that happens.
That would just be dumb on their part. I feel like just to like put everything, like split everything immediately, like give multiplayer love, then give Warzone love, or vice versa. Like I feel like yeah. So you'll have a month. You'll have that month to fucking do nothing anyway and just go hard. So yeah,
I'm telling you that if it's like a month, let's say it's a month, like I'll play every fucking pro.
Yeah.
Like you get me in those lobbies. If it's 8s, if it's like okay, I'll get a couple guys to play. Like I'll fucking play. Like I would love to play because off the rip, bro, that's the easiest time to beat them. There's no difference. It's same. I always say, once you start from 0. Because like all of my career, like Verdansk, I wasn't 18 until the end, and then Caldera, I didn't have, I lost 6 months. Like Al-Mazrah was my first time with everybody from 0, and I mean my team was ahead of the game for the most part, like from the start, from the rip. So, I mean, I would love to be able to play against the pros too, because I mean I respect the fuck out of them too. Like what they're doing, like they're good. They're good as fuck. Probably some of the best players to even ever play this fucking game. So I'd love to be able to play against them.
Yeah, that'd be dope. What's up?
Let's move on. One more topic before we take a couple of questions here. I wanted to use some time here to address some recent news in the Call of Duty community. It's been dry, but there's something that's propped up this week. This is kind of a slow burn. I didn't even think this would blow up in the way it did, but there was a podcast this week. It was recorded a while ago with the members of the OpTic Dynasty. That is Scum, Karma, Formal, and Crimsix. Like those guys had not been in a room together probably in years. If some of them would probably hang out with each other, obviously, but like especially Crim has kind of gone separate ways once he got dropped after Black Ops 4. So, or rather after Black Ops 4. So there's this was kind of very heralded. There's a lot of hype coming into this. The podcast is great. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend. Shout out to Hitch. I think him and the content crew at OpTic did a great job because they asked a lot of good questions. They had a lot of great conversations, and I hope they do more of them. But within the video, there was a story that Crim told about a conversation he had with Nadeshot. This is at AW Champs where Crowder, for the sake of this, team beat OpTic in winners round 1 and went on to win the whole tournament after Chris had got second to OpTic in probably like 3 straight events.
We got second. I think we got second into OpTic, and then
yeah. So going into that, Crim told a story that like him and Nate were walking around, and Nate told him like if they won the event, he was going to donate like the money to charity because it was a tax write-off. And Crim said that checked him. And there was a whole like minute and a half where they all kind of cross-talked to each other.
Wait, that's what he said?
No, that's what he said. Like Formal said, like, when did this happen? He said, like, oh, it was like a one-on-one conversation. And Formal was like, because I don't remember this. Well, this went on, and then yesterday, Nade responded on Twitter. He wrote an entire essay, and to basically paraphrase, like, Matt took exception to that because obviously he feels like it's not a true story. He feels like Crim kind of underplays Nade's role in sort of the initial part of the OpTic Dynasty when Nade was on the team and they were winning, and then obviously Nade stepped aside because they wanted to play with Karma, and I think Nade has said before that he stepped aside because he felt like they were going to do it anyway. So he was like, well, I'm not going to get dropped. I'll just, move on. And obviously everybody's kind of succeeded from there. So he kind of wrote a whole essay on Twitter. Crim responded tonight, actually, with a tweet that he didn't really deny or unequivocally say that the story was false, but he did say that he apologized to Nade because Nade basically went on stream and said like, he's upset. Like he has this Black Ops 2. There's a Black Ops 2 throwback tournament this weekend. He was thinking about not going. There's just a lot of beef. So it sounds like both Crim and Nade are not on good terms about this. Chris, I want to start with you because you were intimately involved in what happened in AW Champs. Like, and obviously both people like pretty well. Like, what are your thoughts on this whole sort of weirdly slow burn over the course of a couple of years and came to a head situation?
I mean,
here?
I didn't even realize that was what. I didn't even realize that was what fucking happened. I mean, bro, it's hard to tell. Like, dude, that's a one-on-one conversation. I was not a part of that. I mean, bro, I've known Matt for a long time, and I've known Crim for a long time, and Crim's obviously, in my opinion, probably the like GOAT in the sense of this, like all the fucking championships and everything that we talk about. But like, yeah, I have no idea. That just does not sound like something Matt would say, like, in the sense, like, it's not a bad thing that he would do something like that if he would, but like, I don't know. Matt's a really competitive person, bro. Matt is he's.
You
I don't think he would do something like that. And I know he gets a lot of flack because like he was their worst player, quote unquote, and like
yeah.
Nah, bro. He didn't. Matt didn't like just want to quit either. Like Matt wasn't in the best. Like, bro, Matt had a lot of fucking pressure on it to do that stuff too. Like, I don't know. That just sounds like a bunch of fucking bullshit from back in the day that I don't even know. That just doesn't sound true, but I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I think that this story might be fugazi. Let me ask it in a different way, Chris, because I think you might be able to
Yeah.
answer this question.
Okay.
Because you, Nate well. Do you think that, like, from his POV, knowing Crim, do you think that he doesn't enjoy when Crim is slowly over time kind of changed the narrative about like the early beginnings of how that team formed, what happened from like October to like April with the team, and then once Nate steps aside, what happened after that? He feels like he's being kind of written out of the story of the team a little.
I mean, maybe, I guess. Like, it's just, like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like back in the day, I guess from my perspective, it was like they had Matt and, like, they were a really good team. They lost the champs. Matt decided to step down. Like, Matt didn't need to step down at the time still. Like, he was competing. He was still pretty good. Like, obviously, he was their scapegoat, and he was definitely probably their worst player on a team. When you say their worst player is on a team, that's the fucking...
They were winning
Yeah, that's what I'm
events
saying. That's what I mean. Like, you take that with a grain of salt. But, like, yeah, like, it's probably annoying just because I feel like a lot of people will remember the OpTic Dynasty and completely write Matt off. So, like, it probably is fucking super annoying, to be honest. Like, but at the same time, like, I don't really know their business and, like, how it goes. And to be honest, I don't even really pay attention to a lot of that stuff of, like, rewriting that story. I just remember that team being really fucking good. Matt retired. They picked up Karma, and they were really fucking good. Like, but they were still really good with Matt. Like, and for a little bit too. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like they were just. It's just kind of like their business. It's not really much to talk about it. I'm not fun with that stuff because I wasn't really, like.
Yeah, no, I feel on that. It's
Free Matt, man.
Yeah,
Free Matt for real.
Free Matt. Like, yeah, like
he ain't doing nothing.
I feel for him because I think the tough part. My last thought on it, because like, there's been some back and forth. Crim apparently apologized to Matt via text. Matt said that like he saw the text. Matt wants to, or Crim wants to speak to Matt on the phone, and Matt's not like willing to have the conversation. So I'm sure at some point,
yeah,
we'll talk about it.
Whatever. Wait, Shifty, did you watch any of them back in the day, like comp? Speaking of Matt and Crim.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, I was like a diehard OpTic fan.
Oh, were you?
Like, yeah.
Oh, hell no, bro. We're ending this podcast now.
I watched VO2. That was like the first. That's when I like found out about this shit.
Oh, really?
VO2.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
And so I mean, I watched. I mean, dude, me and my team like, so like I played with the same people, so we'd like watch, from like the Thursday to Sunday, like we watched all that shit.
That's
like,
crazy.
Yeah, we were fucking fans of that shit, bro. Like, I still am, dude. I watch all the majors and all that now. It's just a little different now because
it's obviously
when you're a kid watching, like I want to be like those guys. And then it's like I almost get the sense I'm like, holy fuck, like people might watch us and like, oh, we want to be like them. So
yeah, you're becoming those guys
cool.
in a sense,
yeah,
in the sense of like the people that
yeah.
want to be like the competitors, like you're doing, which is crazy.
But I mean, I still like fans of those guys. Like
that's
I watch
crazy.
those stuff too. Like all like the podcast and stuff like that. It's always cool just to watch those guys. I mean, they're the fucking pioneers of this shit. So I give my flowers to them.
Yeah, bro, that's just so funny. It's like, yeah, like we're talking about Matt and Crim and shit, and like, yeah, you were back in the day watching fucking the OpTic team and fucking Black Ops 2, Scump, all those guys, bro.
Oh yeah,
that's
look at
nuts.
the fucking scoreboard, baby. Even like Scump watch party does, bro.
Really?
He said like, oh, that might have been influenced. That's 100% influenced by him, by the way.
Really?
Anyone that says that, yes, 100%. Anyone that says that, like, look at the scoreboard, I'm the best in the fucking game, like that line, that is 100% from Scump. Like,
yeah, no,
that is like paying tribute low key, bro, to the fucking team, bro. So yeah, that shit. Cause I watched the VOD back and I remember he said something about that. Like, that might have been influenced. I was like, bro, in my head, I'm like, yes, 100%, bro. Like,
that's got to be a pretty cool feeling, bro. In the sense, like, obviously Scump's retired now, but like, yeah, like Scump's like watch party and you're fucking shit, dude. Like in a sense, like you watched him like your whole life.
And Van Down playing,
yeah, like and then you're watching that
it's
shit.
Been fucking
that's crazy, bro. That's nuts.
Well, we're gonna have. I mean, I think what's interesting about this story is there's a Black Ops 2 land this weekend. It's the off season. Shout out to TSD, running a fun, cool multi-game tournament this weekend. It's all proceeds going to Movember. So they did it last year. It was a banger. They're stepping up again. But Crim's gonna be there. Nade's going to be there. They're both on very good teams in the tournament. I wouldn't be surprised.
There's some
end up in the
beef.
finals versus each other.
There's some beef, dude. I like this.
There might be some more pieces of the story just left. So it's good kind of seeding going into the weekend. I'm actually really excited, Chris. Are you going to watch this Black Ops 2 tournament?
It's maybe. I did, dude. Yeah, I didn't even realize what was going on. Yeah, I might do a little watch party for it. That could be some fun.
It was good last year. I know that
we'll get the Aches Nadeshot push, bro. Yeah, the OG right there.
Nah, they got chill out. They might break a hip.
Pat's team. I think the team is going to win is Crim, Clay, John, and Inks. Pat does not lose these tournaments. Well,
that's a really good team for what the
three of them fucking dominated this fucking game together, and John was very good at fucking Black Ops 2. Yeah. So I don't know. There's not much learning curve that team needs to have because they all played it. Yeah, they were all nasty. So. I do know the feel of playing Black Ops 2 on the console is a little weird.
Yeah, it is.
I was talking to Dylan about it. I don't remember who I was talking to.
It's fair game though. Everyone's got to deal with it. Yeah. You know, no one's grinding on console right now, getting ready. So everyone's gonna go there and just be like, all right, let's fucking go.
I was talking to Clay. I think a couple of the guys.
they're preparing.
With other consoles, they were playing online.
Okay.
I don't think they were playing 8s, but they were.
Yeah,
they were shooting guys and trying some stuff out 2v2s
Nice.
Trying to get used to it because some guys came in cold last year and got fucking slammed.
Well,
so wow.
I was gonna say too, playing on your PC with all this stuff nowadays compared to back then, you don't even realize how good you have it until you go backwards and that, especially the old consoles. So, all right, but yeah, I think that about wraps it up. We'll take a few questions from any of the chats, obviously for all of us. If you have any a few questions to do, and then we'll let you go, Shifty. But fucking yeah, dude, I appreciate you fucking hopping on the show. You had a lot to say, and I honestly the Warzone and CDL stuff was fun to talk about, but it was I knew your story, but I didn't know how in depth how crazy some of the shit that you were going through with the fucking cheating thing is. So that was good. That was good to learn about. But yeah, we'll take a few questions. Let's see if Ben, if you get any or not.
I'm just waiting for them to pop up, but I agree. I have a lot of problems with it. I feel for you because I think there are a lot of delusional people in the Call of Duty scene. There's always been.
Mm-hmm.
But there's sometimes not enough because it lacks a really strong governing body to sit on top and kind of tell people to just kind of move along.
Yeah,
this person's clear. It kind of makes things really difficult. We have a question from Nick Green in Chris's chat asking sort of how you and Soka kind of parted ways sort of during this cycle. Do you want to speak to that a little bit?
Oh God, that guy always talks shit about me in chat.
He got you, bro.
Yeah, that's kind of a big thing. People wonder why, because realistically, I think a lot of people thought Triple S was a favorite. But I would just say it was internal. It wasn't really. We kind of, although we placed fourth, there's kind of little things going on, and we kind of just decided it was probably best to split. I personally I think I play best when I can enjoy my time fully. So I just kind of saw playing with Biffle and Sage as maybe a nice reset, and although it was risky as fuck, kind of starting from zero. I played with Sage a little bit, so it wasn't like I was going in dry. At least I knew. That's why I say you always gotta have one person that you're close with or you've vibed out with before. But I just took that risk.
Yeah.
And, me and Soka, we still talk. It's just I didn't want to see him do bad or anything. I was glad. I even said, I was hey, if we didn't win, it better than y'all. It had to be you guys. We're the kind of the ones that have the that marker on us of maybe they can't do it on land type shit. So it's nothing but love, and they probably just came to a shock to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more that goes into it than just what I guess the outside casuals know.
Yeah, I was gonna say that just happens in all competitive stuff too. It's inevitable to happen eventually too. Sometimes it just works out better. Sometimes for both parties, or just for yourself or whatever it is. With certain teams and teammates, it's not even and it's not even a personal thing as much as it's just in the competitive side of not even just when you're playing. It could be completely different. It has nothing to do with skill or anything. It's certain things just work out better in certain different ways. Especially probably in Warzone too. Probably a lot different. Obviously in that world, but still. Obviously you guys made the right decision, and it's still they're fucking gross too, bro. They're so good.
Yeah.
So it's yeah.
They literally got second. So if it wasn't us, it would have been them.
Yeah, no, literally. They're
you guys them TB.
TB is super consistent. Although they
nobody else.
they didn't really do too good leading up to the tournament, but
Hmm.
that's a team that I think is like a land buff. Like,
Yeah,
I
no,
think
yeah,
they're
for
they're
sure.
really composed. Like it's not even that they're like have any flashy players like that, but they're really good at doing the fundamentals. Pretty fucking solid no matter what.
Yeah,
And
because
I mean,
what kills you in these 6-game formats is like 2 bad games. Like you gotta make
yeah,
sure your floor is good.
Yeah.
Either getting a bunch of kills and getting a high placing, or getting a lot of kills and getting a decent placing. You're keeping pace of points. And I think
Yeah.
they got off to a little bit of a slow start and then picked it up, but it just
Mm.
it became too big.
yeah. And TB died first game. He got
Yeah,
2
they
points.
did.
Yeah.
They had
They
a
got
bad
third.
first game.
Like
Yeah,
you got third and you had 3 points. Like you basically played 5 games of a tournament, got third.
Yeah, which is
Literally
which is
played
crazy.
fucking 5 games of a tournament, and like that's insane. I don't know if they had any other bad games, but like that was also a worry of mine going into this tournament. Like we would win tournaments with 3 wins and 3 shit games.
Mhm.
Like it was just one of those things where we weren't necessarily all clicking at the same time, but then it came down to this fucking land, and I think everyone just like,
Yeah.
I don't fucking know, bro. I was telling Sage all day today, like, dude, you fucking played the best you ever played. And I
Yeah,
told
he
him like
fried.
during turn, I was like, bro, if any time is the fucking time to play like this, this is the fucking time. And we were talking about dinner, and I was like, dude, you guys are just phenomenal, bro. I told him I couldn't ask for anything more out of you guys. Usually, I'm bitching at them. I need y'all to do this, or we're not doing this. I was like, dude, let's just fucking eat. I got nothing to say.
Nothing to say. Business has been done.
Picture perfect. I mean, if your IGL ain't saying shit, bro, y'all did some good shit.
No, for
you
sure.
fucking had a good day at the office.
Yeah,
so.
you got nothing to critique. That means you guys did
Exactly.
exactly. They did what they needed to do and more.
Yeah.
I got one more question, and then we'll let you go. So it's, if you could handpick a team of pros to play with in the CDL, who would it be? Like, if you could craft, like, I guess like there was another question that can like be combined here, is like what role you would want to be if you were to play in competitive, like if you were to decide to do it. But like, yeah, I guess like what role, and then who would you put around you if you could put, like, if you could just make a team
So
right
players
now,
in their prime or like current?
just current, like right now, like if you could just like do it, like just like from the outside looking in, from Warzone looking in the CDL, like what do you think?
Well, to start with the role,
Yeah.
I want to be like an envoy,
Okay.
like that type of player.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
definitely, just the fucking rat of the team. Like get behind them, and like that's
Yeah.
I feel like, because I get really nerdy with that, and just like how I could.
We call it
I don't know.
cringe gaming is what that's called.
Yeah, pretty much. That'd be me. The guy that you're like fucking pissed. I'm always behind you. I guess current pros. It's hard to not just pick the fucking FaZe 3 man, bro. Like, to be honest, like they've been the most consistent since Cold War.
That's good. That's good pandering. That's good pandering, Chris. I like it.
I
You know who you're
mean,
speaking to there.
nah, but like, no, for real. Like, I mean, I definitely would want, if I can't have Celium, give me Dashy. I think I for sure need the twins. The little tiny terrors, bro. Give me the tiny terrors. Oh, they're not twins. I basically count them as twins. Like those guys are fucking turned. So I mean, I definitely say like a simp Abe, and then Celium or Dashy. Like,
Okay.
if I can't have one, I want the other for sure. Or even like a Kismet Hydra dude. Like those guys, they don't get. I feel like they don't get the fucking respect they deserve. Like
No,
those
that-
guys
yeah.
are fucking disgusting. Like now, like I'd assume people
do, but I still think people,
like they're underrated.
I think still
Like,
people are rating them off, not writing them off, but I still think
like, oh, the best sub duos going to the game. Oh, they're like not even ranking them the highest. I'm like, yeah, they were fucking. I mean,
people want to see it again, but yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
I watch it back, bro. Like what Kismet was saying on stage, like, look at that fucking trophy, like that's ours. Like, dude, I was telling fucking D that too. Like, yo, every time we walk by the trophy, look at it. Like, just look at it. I want another team to see us looking at that trophy. Like, fuck, bro, they're in the lead too by 30. Like, fuck, bro, they're fucking looking at it already. Like,
Yeah.
they're just little shit like that, bro. Like that mentality. Like, I feel like Kismet's a dog, bro. I mean, I'd be fucking happy.
I mean,
to play
he's
with
literally
anybody,
his
to be
nickname.
honest.
It literally is.
Yeah, Bulldog. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know if I agree with you on the Hydra being underrated, because he's been gassed pretty much since he came in the league and he's met the mark. I think Kiz though is just super got mega like
I
underrated
mean them as a
last
duo
year.
though. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
as a duo for sure this year. I mean, they've proven it. Like they were, once they figured out their search issues, like they ran the table at the end of the year. That was kind of their remaining weakness. But like they were so good at respawn for most of the year, and then got S&E sorted in those finals. So I tip it. Excited to see if New York will
though, actually,
go back to back.
maybe Scrappy.
Yeah, Scott. Yeah, no, yeah, he's good.
I feel like
Scrappy's
I hear people say like the shit talking will go crazy if I play with Scrappy. And I'm like, I guess that fucking would, bro.
Yeah.
Like a couple of loudmouths, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's just so many fucking good people. Like I think anyone in the league is really fucking good.
Yeah, no.
So,
Okay.
I mean, if
I
I
like
have to
it.
hand pick, you know what I'm saying, I'm picking those guys for sure.
All right. what's it called? I actually have to go like right now, Ben. Like something just came up, so I got to roll. So I'm gonna end my stream. But what's it called? Yeah, dude, Shifty, I appreciate you being here and obviously being a part of all this and stuff. You're the fucking man. If you ever want to be on this again, you can. Ben, you're the best co-host ever. Obviously, everyone watching the fucking YouTube, watching YouTube, make sure you guys drop a like and all that stuff.